Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Marcello Vitti of Dearborn Divine Child Football. How's it going, buddy?
Good. Thanks for having me.
All right. I know obviously this week was not what you wanted against a really good Jackson Lumen Christie team, sitting at 3-2 on the year so far, but kind of evaluate kind of where you guys are at right now.
Right now, I would say that we're regrouping from that loss, and we kind of been watching film and taking the bad things from that film, but also kind of flushing it. I don't think we were too. I mean, we were prepared for that game mentally, but I think we could have taken a couple more steps in preparation with that game, and I think that we're going to take what we did bad and learn from it and apply it to next week and take what we didn't do well and kind of flush it and get angry about it and use it for motivation.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I know a lot of people handle those types of losses very differently. How do you handle those kinds of things, and what do you feel like is one thing you need to do to really improve your game, do you think?
I would say I don't handle losing well. I'm a natural winner. I don't like losing. I don't think anyone really likes losing. I don't think my team likes losing. So I kind of think it's important to just look in the mirror sometimes when you lose and realize what you could have done wrong, could have done better, what you did wrong, and tell that to your team and tell that to your coaches, and then that allows them to hear you what you have to say after a loss like that, and it just helps the team and the morale instead of just what some guys do is just like my team can't help me. My team can't do this. Coaches need to do that. It's not about that. At a loss, everybody makes mistakes, and you just got to fix it and clean it up.
Yeah. So kind of going into that, I'm pretty sure heading into this week, week 6, against the team that's gotten you a few times over the years, in U of D Jesuit. What's that going to be like heading into that game, especially with coming off a loss this past week?
Well, I think that the coaches are going to have a good game plan against this team. I think they're a good spread team. They like to throw the ball. They got good athletes. They always have good athletes. And I think our team's going to be pretty angry that we lost that game against Jackson Christie the way we did. And I think we're going to come prepared and aggressive and making good tackles and playing as a team and help the defense helping the offense and just converting.
I mean, obviously you've looked back on yourself. Like, what's one thing that you're doing really well at, and then one thing that you can make some improvements on?
I think I'm doing a good job of making tackles in open space, stopping big plays from happening. I think I'm doing a good job of getting in the end zone. I already have like 9 touchdowns on the season. But something that I could do better on is definitely being too aggressive. So a positive, but it's also a negative. So I'll come up on a tackle where I think a guy has the ball, then they'll run a reverse like Lumen Christie did that. It was a good play, but I got to be more disciplined with my eyes sometimes and not be so eye happy and aggressive.
Yeah. So really, playing, with playing for Divine Child and, on a track record of success that a lot of players that have been on, and obviously one's currently playing in the NFL. What's it been like to be part of this school with a very rich history of tradition in football?
Well, our coach preaches tradition all the time, and you got to realize that some guys wore that jersey before you. Someone else wore the number 2 that I wear, and they have a story about their high school experience, and he talks about that. He has guys come back to practice and talk about how Divine Child was a gritty team that even though you might lose a game, that team knows that they're getting into a brawl with that team, and it's going to be a tough game, hard tackling, and it's going to be excited, and it's going to be a hard fought game.
Yeah.
But I think me going to Divine Child was kind of just to keep that tradition going. I think Divine Child kind of they were losing that, and I think Coach Laney has been doing a really good job of bringing that back to the program and getting the guys to believe it and getting the guys to play harder and just taking care of business.
Excuse me. Okay, so I know obviously I know you're gonna have as to continue to have the season that you're on, you've also been pretty busy in trying to find what your home when I know you want to go play at the next level, and I know there's a lot of schools that are currently that currently want you right now. I know you have a lot of I know you have a lot of schools that have offered you and all that. So what's that process just been like just to kind of figure out and how do you handle something like that, but obviously with also trying to play a season.
I would say that I mean it's a good thing. I'm grateful that schools recognize my abilities and the work I put into every day to football and off the field, what I do and how I take care of myself in the classroom. And it pays off. And then I think it's less about handling it in the season. I mean, I think you kind of just, I think sometimes you just got to put it away and recognize you're playing football and it's what you've been doing for the longest time. And I mean, nothing else matters but doing what you can do and helping your team win. And I mean, I don't really try and get caught up to schools during the season. I'm focused on my team, and sometimes I won't take visits because I mean, I'm just it's too important of a game of a week, and I mean, I feel like my team needs me even on the weekends.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of that, I know this the next four games, hard to believe we've reached the halfway point. You going into this game against Jesuit, what do you feel like you guys got to do to rebound after a tough loss and and to really have a good end of the season before the postseason comes?
Well, I think this game is really important, especially after this loss. It's a way to regroup and take care of business this week against a really good team and UD Mercy. I think that we got to stop their pass, their athletes. They do a good job of spreading guys out and then running the ball. They got a good D line, good O line. Zachary Green, Dante Banks, all those guys I know. Been playing against for a while, so and also, I think we need to convert on third downs, and we need to, I mean, get yards on first downs. And our offense just got to do a better job of getting ahead of the sticks and making throws. And I mean, we have a freshman quarterback. He didn't have the best game against Jackson Lumen Christie. He's not going to have his best game every time. He's a freshman. You got to kind of understand that, and we got to try and help him out, give him more time, and can't keep giving him less time and getting under pressure and freaking out. But he's a great player and he's going to be great for Divine Child in the future too.
Yeah. All right. Marcello, thank you so much for the time as always, and best of luck this week against U of D.
Thank you.